Sometimes, the most important thing in the whole day is the rest we take in between 2 deep breaths. Just because today was a terrible day doesn't mean tomorrow won't be the best day of your life. You just gotta get there. You are loved, you are needed, and you are worthy. You are on this earth for a reason. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Reach out and ask for help.
Hi everybody, it's Jaden here, and we are back for another YouTube video. Today's video is going to be a bit different. Today's video is about an initiative that is very important to me, and I'm sure some of you have already heard of it, but it is called BellLetsTalk. For those of you who don't know what BellLetsTalk is, BellLetsTalk was created by Bell Canada back in 2010, with their first BellLetsTalk Day being in January of 2011. The purpose behind this campaign is to increase awareness and combat stigma surrounding mental illnesses in Canada. Every year on the last Wednesday in January, Bell Canada hosts a BellLetsTalk Day. We're using social media platforms. People can help raise money, spread awareness, and share their stories. BellLetsTalk has had over 1 million interactions by the public to date. Since its founding in 2010, the campaign has committed over $100 million to mental health initiatives, 657 community fund grants, $15.7 million in funding for children and youth, $1.95 million in funding for indigenous communities, and $1.78 million for military family support in Canada. BellLetsTalk has partnered with more than 1,000 organizations who have supported over 3.4 million Canadians with access to mental health services. Some other cool facts include over $11 million in community fund grants, 2.2 million crisis and distress line users, 1.4 million children and youth reached, 610,000 Canadians supported through technology-based mental health programs, 1.4 million trained staff and volunteers, and 15,846 military families helped through the Bell True Patriot Love Fund. It was reported that 86% of Canadians that said they were more aware of mental health issues since BellLetsTalk began, which is honestly freaking amazing. Today, January 26th, is BellLetsTalk Day 2020. Spreading awareness and combating stigma is an amazing start, but you can also help out by using your social media platforms such as Twitter. Every use of the hashtag BellLetsTalk or each view of the BellLetsTalk video posted on Bell's account counts as one interaction. Facebook. Every use of the photo frame and each view of the video on Bell's Facebook page counts as one interaction. Instagram and YouTube. Each view of the video counts as one interaction. Snapchat. Every use of the BellLetsTalk geofilter and each view of the video counts as one interaction. Talk. Every call made on Bell's wireless or telephone network, local or long distance, counts as one interaction. Texting. Every text message over a Bell network counts as one interaction. Remember to turn off your iMessage though for the day, because unfortunately this won't work. Now you may be asking, Jaden, why do these interactions mean so much? Well, let me tell you there, folks. Bell Canada takes all these interactions, and for every interaction, they donate 5 cents towards mental health programs in Canada, which is absolutely amazing. Which we heavily need, might I add, because our damn government is lacking in the funding department. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy who almost fell through the cracks in the system because we didn't have funding in place. Sorry about that, folks. I get a bit too passionate sometimes. But yes, as I was saying, Bell Canada, for every interaction, donates 5 cents to mental health initiatives in Canada. So make sure to get out there and use that BellLetsTalk hashtag and spread the word.
When it comes to mental health, every action counts. Helping to end the stigma around mental illness can help create positive change. In fact, 1 in 5 people in Canada will experience a mental health issue or illness in any given year. One of the biggest hurdles for anyone suffering is overcoming the stigma. It is the #1 reason why 2/3 of those living with a mental illness do not seek help. Here are some ways that you can help. Your language. The words you use can make all the difference. Words can help, but they can also hurt. For example, instead of using words such as schizo or crazy, try using the words person with schizophrenia or person with a mental illness. Educate yourself. The stigma has been around for a long time, and knowing the facts and myths about mental illness can be a great way to help end the stigma. Read about the facts, myths, and become a better stigma buster. Be kind. Simple kindness can make a world of a difference, whether it be a smile, being a good listener, or an invitation for a coffee and a chat. These simple acts of kindness can help open up the conversation and let someone know that you are there for them. Expressions like, "you'll get over it" and "just relax" can minimize how a person is feeling. Instead, offer your support and say, "I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. Is there any way I can help?" Listen and ask. Mental illness is a very common form of human pain and suffering. Being a good listener and asking how you can help, or sometimes just even being there for the people you care about, can be the first step in recovery. A few examples of things you can say are, I'm sorry you aren't feeling well. I've noticed you've seemed down lately. Is everything okay? How can I help? Talk about it. Mental illness touches us all in some way, directly or through a friend, family member, or colleague. Stories of people who experience mental health issues and who are doing well can really challenge the stereotypes. Most people with mental health issues can and do recover just by talking about it. I've dealt with depression and anxiety for as long as I can remember, but I never talked about it. When I was 17 years old, I tried to mask my depression and anxiety by using drugs and alcohol. This led me down a very self-destructive path to where I tried to take my own life. At that point in time, I didn't think I had an option. I wasn't dealing with my past emotions and my trauma in a healthy way. And my brain was telling me that I just wasn't good enough and that no one really cared about me. Which, let me tell you right now, that was the farthest thing from the truth. I wish I could just go back to little Jaden and tell him that. But I can't. I tried counseling for a while, tried some self-help books, and stuff like that, but nothing was really working. A few months later, I was introduced to an organization, which I'm gonna be completely honest, it absolutely saved my life. These individuals helped me realize that I am good enough and I am loved. It took me a while, but I eventually opened up and I started talking about my past struggles and emotions, which was something that I'd never done before. I was completely shocked that there was others like me out there that went through the same type of stuff that I went through. Like, I had no idea. And it was fascinating to see that there were so many people out there as well that had similar stories to the ones I was experiencing. And that honestly just, I never experienced anything like that before. It was from that moment that I realized that I wasn't alone in my struggles. And for the first time in my whole life, I finally felt like there was a weight off my shoulders. Shortly after that, I began advocating for mental health. I wanted to make sure that if other people were going through the type of stuff that I had went through, that they weren't alone through their struggles, like I thought I was. Or that they didn't try to make a permanent solution to a temporary problem, just like I almost did. Talking about my mental health and my struggles honestly terrified me. I never thought in a million years that anybody would ever understand or care. But I want you to know, it wasn't that bad once I got it out and I started talking about it. I found out that people do actually give a crap about me. Oh, go figure. And, you know, like I was saying, it just brought a huge weight off my shoulders. Yeah, you have to work through some stuff, and that's going to be very difficult in the beginning. But I promise you, like, once you start dealing with those emotions, you're going to get that weight off the shoulders. You're going to feel so much better, you know? And my biggest advice to any of you watching this right now is if you're struggling and you're debating on getting help or not, go get some help. You know, it's okay to be scared. That's completely normal. But I want you to know it's not that bad once you open up about it. Sure, in the beginning it's going to be a bit tough, just like everything in life that I'm now figuring out, but it's honestly worth it, you know? Otherwise, you're just going to bottle it up and you're going to snap, like I did. My story could have ended completely differently. My story could have ended way back in 2013 and I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I could have been one of the ones that didn't make it to 2020. But I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. I was given a second chance in life to do what I'm doing right now, to try and spread awareness, to try and make sure that if people are going through what I'm going through, that they're getting the help that they need. Whatever is going on in your life, it can be fixed. And just know that there are people out there who love and care about you, and you have a purpose in this life. I promise you that. Counseling may not have entirely worked for me, but that doesn't mean it won't work for you. You know, like even if counseling doesn't appeal to you, or if other things you hear at work don't appeal to you, I encourage you to at least try it once. Just once. Or maybe a few times. Just to see if it'll work. And if that doesn't work, move on to the next thing. See like what is best for you. Counseling may not work for you. Medication may not work for you. But just try it. You know, it's definitely worth fixing rather than permanently ending it, you know? You know, you're loved. People care about you. For me, it was advocating. For you, it might be counseling. For someone else, it might be simple self-care techniques. All I'm saying is that you should at least try something. You just gotta try and take that step to get help. Because if you don't, like I said, it's just gonna bottle up and you're gonna snap. And that's not good for anybody, especially yourself. If any of you out there are struggling right now, please reach out to someone, whether it be a friend, a family member, a medical professional, or anybody that you trust. At least talk to someone. I guarantee you this. Someone would rather listen to hear what's going on than find out that you're no longer on this earth. And I'm telling you that right now. I would rather stay up all night and talk to someone than to hear about their funeral the following day. You know, you are important, you are loved, and you have a purpose. My last piece of advice, don't make the same mistake that I almost did.